In this video we will show you how to install the version 109 and the latest features. First you need to go and open file location. If you're upgrading from a previous system, you must absolutely rename this config file to start with a new configuration file, or else you will have issues. Click yes and create a new config file, and then you'll have to reprogram everything. Now, with regards to the new features that have been added recently in the version 6.7.8.9, we've added add JSON parse. What this is, to be a bit more specific, is the Blue Robotics ROV basically sends all its ROV data to this address over here. More specifically, to the Mavlink path. This over here, if you right click and you want to save the file, this is a JSON file which has a specific format which helps to be able to retrieve the information. The Oceanvault data server has added this feature now, which replaces the HTTP GET, which basically prevents you from having to add too many channels to get all the various items from the ROV. So we click on add JSON parse, and over here again right click on BR2 and connect. This basically has all the relevant information being taken from that Mavlink URL and using the JSON parser code to be able to retrieve the information and put relevant hashtags on them. Now you have to also check that there's a value here. Stick mode will change because this is a floating input that's sent from the ROV. It will go from stick mode to light to pilot gain, etc., depending on what is caught when Oceanvault data server is asking for the JSON file. If you want to change the frequency, you can change it over here, but you will need to disconnect and connect again. And then you'll see the stick mode value change a lot more, which you can use that then to import into your other software. Now, going back to the usual stuff, so if I just put channel 1 over here and add item, so you're basically adding the full load of the JSON parsed results, which might be what you need to do. So this prevents you from having to add all kinds of other hashtags and so on. So this way the file is ready to be used and sent to software like Oceanvault Recorder, etc. The other thing that we've added, where we're going to now add HTTP GET, which was the previous method, and we would get the BR2 heading, for instance, and connect. Over here, when we go to channel 2, let's say we want to have this called hashtag HDG. You needed to put a math formula to be able to retrieve the proper heading. Now, in some cases, if you needed to do something more complex, I'm just going to add a weird math over here. You see that the heading has got a lot of trailing digits, so you might want to be rounding up to a certain value. So the round feature over here only affect the math results. So what you want to do now is 0 will just basically get rid of the trailing 0, and there you have it, 1 digit 2 digits, which will only appear as long as the second digit is not a 0, and so on. So these are the various features that you can add to your system. Apart from that, we've made it slightly bigger, and the rest of the items are same as before. Now, it's strongly suggested that you do not use the get command for this address too often, as it's been reported that some kind of Mavlink message freezes. So ideally, what you want to do, if you would want to have, for instance, the heading, then what you can do over here, you just go back to selecting channel 1, and then after that you just select your field, in this case field 2, 1. Just have to find the field for the heading. Field 2, for instance. And now, of course, you have to get rid of the math feature for this one. And maybe you don't need this over here. And then you could add this to your system. Now, for instance, if you wanted to convert a pitch, let's say you wanted to call this BTH, for instance, then you just go and select the field. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now there's no math, but you might not want to have the pitch to be so long. So you can specify a length over here of 5, and that would give you 5 digits, including sorry, 5 characters including the dot. But what if you want just to have a certain amount of trailing digits? Then you can still apply a math, and what you would do in this case, you could multiply by 1, for instance, and use this feature over here. So as long as you have a math equation, then you're able to round the trailing digits. So this means that if, for instance, the pitch gets to be a 5, instead of, so, you would lose, first it wouldn't be 05, you just have 5.3 digits in the back. So these are basically the conclusion for the various changes that we've made to Oceanvault data server. Please let us know if you have any other features requests, and we will gladly put them for you.